Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Heijen and I am a dragon witch. Welcome in my home here in Belgium, somewhere here in front of my dragon altar where I do a lot of rituals and a lot of spells. You know, a lot of people actually blame me a bit because I don't share a lot of spells. You have to know something about dragon spells. Dragon spells are very personal. Dragon spells, my book of dragon shadows, something that I write down myself in, is filled with draconic spells. But I do not know if they ever fit with you. Because your dragon circle and your dragon eye in general is actually very personal. So I do not know 100% if these same spells that I do will also work for you because your dragon is very unique and so is your path. I cannot say enough, actually, how unique your path is. Excuse me, I'm a bit sick. I do have corona. That is the reason why I don't go to the forest that well. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry for my voice because of that. And so yeah, that is why I came up with four of the greatest maybe that can work for you draconic spells, dragon spells that might work for you as well. Actually, I'm pretty sure that one of these spells will work for you because all four of them contain a lot of personality, but also, yeah, it's very personal actually. These four dragon spells that I want to share with you is actually something that can become very personal, and that is the point on the dragon's path. You cannot abuse the dragon's energy, so you cannot also abuse the dragons themselves. So in order to do so, you need something of yourself, your own personal energy. So let me start off. Dragon spells that really can mean something and thus open the dragon's gate, and that is the entire reason as well for dragon spells. So the first spell that I can share with you is your name. Whenever you know your name, whenever you discover your name, that is actually, you might say, I know my name, I know who I am Tim Heijer. Well, actually, no. We do not know our name. We are born and being given a name by our parents. This is a name that is very much human. This human name is something that you carry around with your entire life. So that is what you might think, that this is truly your name. But there lives something inside of you. Inside of you lives a spirit. And that is what your dragon always calls to. Your dragon might hear also as well your true name here in this world as your human name. But your dragon actually whispers the name that is living inside of you. And whenever you understand the name that your dragon is constantly saying to you, this is the name. These are the words actually that open up the dragon's gate. It's much more powerful than you might even can realize. That is why I say to you, you have to be very careful whenever your dragon by your side speaks, because this means a lot of power and also the access inside of the dragon realms even. So whenever you know your name, that means that your dragon said it to you. Your dragon has shared it with you, because your dragon by your side is actually telling you the name that can open up gates. And this doesn't mean nothing, of course. This means actually a lot. Whenever you know your draconic name, and you might some people, and that I see a lot, they call themselves in a very draconic fashion, but somewhere it feels wrong, because whenever you know how dragons speak and how dragons name themselves, and whenever people are actually searching for their names, their draconic names, most of the time it's not really that. So you don't have to come to conclusions, yeah, that is my name, because it's actually very, very important to know what your name is. That is the reason as well why I do not pronounce my name, my draconic name, here in this human world. It stands in my book of dragon shadows, and it's only meant for me. So this is where the spell begins. And the second spell that I also want to share with you is the name of your dragon. So not your the human name that you give to the dragon, because that is also something that I see a lot, but the name that you hear, that you remember from your spirit. Also, not nothing. And that is actually a bit like the same thing with you knowing your name. It's actually knowing and remembering the name of your dragon by your side, also not nothing. Whenever you remember that, and also don't come to conclusions too fast, like, because humans give easily names, they easily give names. Dragons wait for it, and all of what they are saying, the names of the dragons, it always means something. Like, I have to discover, for example, that my name is Tim. In the human name, it means the son of Tiamat. It's a shortened way to say son of Tiamat. When your name, for example, when you're a woman and you are named Tia, that means daughter of Tiamat. But that is purely human. A human name, to call it like this, it was like it was intended to be. But when you know your true name of your dragon by your side, or you know the true name as well as your you know your dragon god, and you know the human name of that begins a spell. But when once you come together with the spell of knowing your true name, your draconic name, and the name of the dragon by your side, I don't doubt that a lot of people give them a human name. It's much more easy, but to give them the name of the dragon, that is much more difficult as well to know this. And then is the third spell, and I might say that the third spell is the most powerful one, and you cannot you cannot you cannot lie in this. That is the most powerful spell that I can imagine. A draconic spell is your tears. You don't need words for spells because dragons don't need words. They communicate a lot with emotions. And tears speaks for itself. They can read your tears. Whenever you have tears, tears tell the dragon more than words. It comes from pure emotions. The clearest language you can tell to the dragon. Immediately, you can open up more than one gate with just a simple tear. And whenever your tears are saying the reason why your tears are falling is something that your dragon can read. It's something that changes the whole energy into the air. And not only the dragon by your side can come to aid because of this. It means that you are in distress, that you don't feel well. And all of your dragons, especially the dragons by your side, are being called your guardians. And they will come to your tears. And then they will examine it, they will know what is going on. They will read your tears. They don't even need to read you. You just need to read your tears. And this can open, and that is what I've seen a lot, this can open so many gates, much even more than dragon gates. You have to remember when you use draconic spells like this, it's all in order to be with the dragon, but tears can do much more than that. Tears can even curse other people or bless other people in a dragon's name. So then that is also the reason why in tears, for example, you cannot just have empty tears. You cannot have emotionless tears. Tears comes because of emotions. It's so strong and sometimes uncontrollable. And when you have uncontrollable tears, uncontrollable tears, I'm sorry, Corona. When you have this, the dragons will see through of this chaos, and it will eventually have results. What kind of results these are, I could not imagine what kind of results tears can have. Dragon tears is very powerful, and it's pure dragon spell, a spell without words. And then the fourth one is actually a spell with quite a lot of words. Actually, that is the other side from it. It's actually your true intentions. When you explain or even show your true intentions to your dragon, when you speak to your dragon, you do so with the inner ear and mind. When you make it clear to the dragon when you love them, it translates into draconic language. So that is what happened here in front of my dragon altar. It was a ritual that I actually didn't know that it was a ritual, and that was my devotion declared for the dragon. And it was immediately, when the more that I said, the more that I was into trance, just like your tears. This cannot be played. This cannot be fake. You cannot fake whenever your words are towards the dragon. Because if you are going towards the dragon, when I see to my image in the front of in the middle of my dragon altar, I see to the eyes of my dragon, and I do not. I would never ever try to lie to the dragon. So I declared my devotion for the dragon. I gave my soul, I gave my blood, I gave my mind, I gave everything to the dragon, and that was meant. This kind, and everything that I said was repeated inside of my mind. So the dragon knows that you are not lying, that you are in fact doing a dragon ritual, a dragon spell, a real dragon spell. So you don't, and that is what bothers me so much. On the internet, I came to see a lot of people that write, dragon spells. Said that you have to rhyme a spell because, and then your dragon will grant you with, I don't know, money or love. Or, this is not what dragons are. Dragons want you. Dragons want you for who you really are. So they want your name. They want you to know their name. They want to know your true intentions. And they also want to hear your true intentions. And also, whenever you have tears, it's the tear of the dragon. And the tear of the dragon has to be seen where it comes from. Your dragons will aid you in these tears to see where it comes from. And so, yeah. And that is what bothers me so much on the internet. All these so-called dragon spells, these are not real spells. These are not in connection with dragons. When you have a true spell and a real spell, you have to have connection with the dragon, a true connection with the dragon. And this is what a spell is. That you are connected with each other, that you hear each other, that you invent each other, I don't know, that you discover each other, that you are in this, the dragon eye, your dragon eye, that you are compact inside of this dragon eye, all together, that there are no secrets anymore, that you know your name, that you know their name, that you know your true intentions, and that you know where your tears are coming from. So of course there are even more dragon spells that I should actually try to communicate with you, but I fear that all of these dragon spells that I did, for example, are too personal. But also what you can do as well, spells don't necessarily, just like dragon tears, don't need words. Sometimes you go in front of your altar or sit on your bed or whatever you are doing, and you are thinking of the dragon. So express your feelings for the dragon. This is also in itself a dragon spell that doesn't need words. I mean, you don't need words. Actually, your mind talks to the dragon. Your mouth doesn't need to talk to the dragon. This is human. Your mouth is human, but your mind can be very draconic. And this translates immediately to the dragon by your side. And that is also where you can pronounce your name. You don't have to speak it. Your tongue might not even make it to speak your own name. Not anymore. But in your mind, you know what you're trying to say. Your own name, or the name of the dragon. Sometimes you just don't need words. Dragon spells are done with the mind. So my brothers and sisters, be blessed.